Okay, so emulsification is nothing but breaking of large fat globules into the smaller one. Okay, so now the bile juice which is secreted in the liver opens into the bile duct, opens into the duodenum. It will send it bile juice here. So the emulsification of fats occur. Now pancreas will secrete a juice called pancreatic juice. It will also send the juice into the duodenum. This pancreatic juice contains several enzymes called trypsin, chymotrypsin, okay. So the trypsin and chymotrypsin will act on the proteins and digest it. So pancreatic juice contains enzymes called trypsin, chymotrypsin, and it will digest the proteins. Even the pancreatic juice also contains pancreatic amylase. Pancreatic amylase also is present. Pancreatic amylase, which helps in the digestion of Now pancreas will secrete a juice called pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice contains several enzymes called trypsin, chymotrypsin, which helps in the digestion of proteins. Pancreatic juice also contains pancreatic amylase, which helps in the digestion of carbohydrates. So here one point you have to remember is when the food or when the chyme has entered into the duodenum, the acidic medium, here it is acidic condition. Now the chyme has entered into the duodenum. Due to secretion of bile and pancreatic juice, the acidic medium turns into alkaline or basic medium. So now here we have the basic medium. So carbohydrate digestion starts again. In stomach, digestion did not occur. Again it starts in the duodenum because the acidic medium has changed into the basic medium due to secretions of liver and pancreas. So proteins and carbohydrates, even lipids starts digesting in the duodenum. Now the duodenum opens into the second part of the small intestine. So what happens in the small intestine is, the intestine secretes a juice called intestinal juice. Small intestine secretes a juice called intestinal juice. Which it is also called as succus entericus. Intestine secretes a juice called intestinal juice, which is also called as succus entericus. Succus entericus contains several enzymes which helps in complete digestion of the food. So there is a chart given in your textbook. I will draw it. So we will see what is the enzyme, from where it is secreted, what is the action, on which, whether it is acting on carbohydrate or whether it is acting on protein or whether it is acting on fats. So we will discuss it later. So first, in the small intestine, the intestinal juice is secreted, which contains several enzymes, and here the complete digestion of food occurs. So after complete digestion, the walls of intestine starts absorbing the food. Okay, the walls of the intestine starts absorbing the food into the blood. Okay, This process is called as absorption. This process is called as absorption. The walls of the intestine will start absorbing the food, and this process is called as absorption. Now we will see the intestine. So, if you see the intestine, so like this our intestine will be there. I draw from here. This is our stomach. The stomach opens into the duodenum. Duodenum opens into the second part of the intestine. So here the complete digestion occurs. Here the complete digestion occurs. So here the walls of the intestine, these are the walls, and walls of the intestine has some special cells called villi, microvilli. They are finger-like. The walls of the intestine have special cells which are finger-like. They are like this, which are finger-like. So these are called as microvilli. So what they do, they helps in the absorption of digested food into the blood. Okay, whatever the digested food occurs, the complete digestion occurs in the intestine. Now the digested food, the nutrients present in the digested food should be absorbed into the blood. So this will done by the microvilli, which is present in the small intestine walls. Okay. So each villi, if you see each villi structure, it is a finger-like projection and has a blood capillaries and lymph vessels. So it is surrounded by some blood capillaries like this, and it has some lymph vessels. We will discuss that type of lymph and blood capillaries in circulation chapter. So it is surrounded by blood capillaries and lymph vessels. So the absorption of nutrients from the digested food occurs through microvilli in the small intestine, and the nutrients are sent to the different parts through blood. Now what happens? The undigested food is there. The undigested food, what happens to the undigested food? The undigested food will open into the undigested food moves into the large intestine. So now the food has moved into the large intestine. So here water is absorbed back into the body, because water is very important for the body. So whatever the water is there, it is absorbed into the body. So the unnecessary water is only sent out, but most of the water is absorbed into the body by large intestine. So now from the large intestine, the food moves into the rectum. And it is sent out through anus. And here also one more splinter muscle is there, which controls the movement of undigested food to outside. Okay. Here we have actually two splinter muscles here. So that we will discuss in another chapter. But just remember, here there are splinter muscles. So the undigested food from rectum passes outside the body through anus. Splinter muscle controls the action of the anus. Okay. Now this process, the movement of food outside the body through anus, is called as ejection or defecation. Movement of undigested food outside the body is called as ejection or defecation. Okay, this is about the human digestive process. Now we will see the enzymes involved in the process of digestion. Okay, now we will see the different enzymes present involved in the digestion. So first enzyme is xylem. Where it is present? It is secreted by the salivary glands, mouth, in the buccal cavity. So first the food enters into the mouth. So saliva is secreted. That contains, saliva is secreted by salivary glands. which contains an enzyme called salivary amylase, which is also called as thylline. So on which they will act on carbohydrates. Now the food moves into the stomach. So in stomach, what enzyme is there? Pepsinogen. Pepsinogen becomes active in the and becomes pepsin. So pepsinogen, by the action of gastric juice or HCl, it becomes active form. Pepsinogen is inactive form. So it can't act on the food or it can't act on bolus. So in the presence of HCl, it becomes active and converts into pepsin. Pepsin will act. So pepsin is secreted from gastric glands, which is present in the stomach. So it acts on proteins. Okay, pepsin will act on proteins. Now coming to the food from stomach moves into the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. So here into the duodenum, what happens? The liver and the pancreas opens into the duodenum. The liver and the pancreas opens into the duodenum. So from liver you will get bile juice, bile, which is secreted into duodenum. So liver secretes bile juice into duodenum. What juice? Bile juice. What it will do? Bile juice helps in breaking of fats. We should say emulsification, not breaking. So bile juice helps in emulsification of fats. Now after that, now the pancreas also opens into the duodenum. Pancreas juice has several enzymes. Pancreatic amylase. You have to say pancreatic amylase. If you say amylase, means it may be salivary amylase or any amylase. So here you have to say salivary amylase. Here you have to say pancreatic amylase. Pancreatic amylase is secreted by pancreas and it is secreted into duodenum. So what it does? Amylase means it will definitely act on carbohydrates. Just remember amylase. It will act on anywhere if you get the amylase, it will act on carbohydrates. Next. So the next enzyme, trypsin. Trypsin is secreted by pancreas. So we have seen the pancreas opens into duodenum. So pancreas contains pancreatic juice. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juice. I have told that pancreatic juice contains several enzymes. It contains trypsin, chymotrypsin, lipase, amylase. So several enzymes act on proteins, carbohydrates and fats present in the food. So trypsin, which is secreted by pancreas into the duodenum, it is secreted from the pancreatic juice, which will act on proteins. So if you see like this, so now the chyme has entered into here. This is our duodenum. Okay. Now the pancreas. This is our pancreas. So pancreas has secreted pancreatic juice into the duodenum. Now this juice contains trypsin, lipase, next chymotrypsin, amylase, pancreatic amylase. So whatever the carbohydrates, proteins, fats present here will be broken down into smaller molecules. Okay. So trypsin is secreted by pancreas. Where it is secreted? Into duodenum. It is secreted into duodenum. What? Pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice. In this pancreatic juice only we have trypsin along with several enzymes. So trypsin acts on proteins. Okay. Just remember, if it is any SIN is coming, means it will act on proteins. If you see pepsin, trypsin, chymotrypsin. So last, if SIN words are coming, they will generally, mostly 99% they will act on proteins. Okay. Now lipases. Lipases means lipids. By the word you can tell. Lipases. It is secreted from the pancreas into duodenum and it will act on what? Fats. Now peptidase and sucrase. Now the food has entered into the small intestine. The food has entered into the small intestine. This is our small intestine. So this small intestine secretes intestinal juice, which is also called as succus entericus. This intestinal juice contains enzymes called peptidases, which is secreted by intestine. So small intestinal juice into the small intestine. So peptidases will act on proteins. Next, also intestinal juice secretes an enzyme called sucrase. Okay, that will act on carbohydrates. The sucrase will act on mostly sucrose. Sucrose is nothing but a sugar. Okay, sugars are nothing but carbohydrates. So the sucrase will act on carbohydrates. Now, okay, so if you see the last digestion process, the carbohydrates which, if you see now, our food contains carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids. Carbohydrates, proteins and lipids. These are the macronutrients. You will have macro and micronutrients. So these three are called as macronutrients. Now by the action of enzymes, carbohydrates are broken down into glucose. Carbohydrates are converted into glucose. Okay. So carbohydrate means if carbohydrates are completely digested, carbohydrates mottam digest the last end product is glucose. Proteins are digested into peptones, or you can say amino acids. Okay. So here also you can write that. First the carbohydrates are digested into maltose. Maltose is again converted into glucose. Same. Proteins are digested into peptones. Peptones are digested again into amino acids. So the last product, end product of protein digestion is amino acid. Last end product of carbohydrate digestion is glucose. Now fats. Fats are broken down into fatty acids. The fats are broken down into the fatty acids. So the end product of lipids or fats are the fatty acids. Okay, now carbohydrates complete digest time and వచ్చేది glucose. First maltose కింద break అవుతుంది, maltose is converted into glucose. Proteins complete గా digest అయితే మనకు వచ్చేది amino acid. These are absorbed into the end products are absorbed by the cells for energy. Okay, వీటి నుంచి మనకి ఎనర్జీ వస్తుంది. Okay, proteins peptones కింద, peptones amino acids కింద break అవుతాయి. Lipids are broken down into the fatty acids. So you should remember this, very important. Carbohydrates end product is glucose, proteins end product is amino acids, lipids end product is fatty acids. So this is the digestion of the human digestion. So complete digestion occurs in this manner. Now after digestion, the food is absorbed into the intestine and the nutrient, and it is from intestine they are sent into the different parts through blood. So the cells take this and they will synthesize the energy from these nutrients, and the energy is needed to do different activities, to carry on different activities by the cell. Okay, thank you.